Hello. This is a tutorial for the QJ Magic Dodecahedron. In this tutorial, obviously, I'll be teaching how to solve it, and teaching you how it is similar to the 3x3, and that's the basis on which we will solve the dodecahedron cube. Yeah, it's just like the 3x3, and I'll show you that now. Okay, as you can see, just like the 3x3, it has 3 distinct layers, like that. The dodecahedron cube from QJ also has 3 layers. They go like this. Here's the middle, top, and bottom layer. And it's just like a 3x3, but it looks a lot different. Obviously, there are 12 sides, and it shapeshifts also, so that makes it difficult to solve. But once you figure out how it works and how it's exactly like a 3x3, you can solve it very easily. As you can see here, here's the centerpiece. Like, here's the one layer, and obviously that piece is in the middle of the layer. It's the centerpiece, just like this on the 3x3. These big pieces around here are the edges. Now, something weird about the edges is they have like alternating orientations, just because the shape of the cube. One edge will go up like this with these 2 little stickers up here, and the next one will have the 2 stickers down here. And same with the other 2. And you have to make sure they're oriented properly like that when you're solving. That's really the only way it's different from the 3x3, other than making sure the centers are oriented when you solve the cube. As for the shapeshifting goes, like, just 1 turn or a quarter turn will look like that. As you can see, the lines and the axes are still lined up after I did that. That's a U. Like, you can see the next edge piece is in place, and then I can turn the cube like that, or that, and it takes a little bit to get the hang of how that works, but you'll get it, and then it'll be simple. So, now that you know that it's just like a 3x3, we can begin solving it just like a 3x3 after we give it a scramble here. Alright, I think that should do it. And likewise, I'll scramble the 3x3. Okay. Now, just like in pretty much any method solving a 3x3, you're going to get the cross, the white cross first on the QJ dodecahedron. Now, obviously, you're just going to be placing the corner, or the edge pieces rather, on the bottom layer. And for the bottom layer on this, I like to use the orange and white center, because you start with a white cross on the 3x3, and this also contains white, so I like to use that. Okay, now let's find one of the edge pieces here. Here's the white edge. It's going to line up right with this. So what we have to do is get it on the top layer. There it is up there. Now you can see it's lined up with its center, but these colors are flip-flopped. So what you want to do is rotate this out of the way, flip the center over 180 degrees, so when you put it back, then the colors will match, and then you can just do an F2 move, and the edge will be in place. Now, the one on the other side will be just the same. here it is, it's orange. It'll match up with this orange piece right here. And if we can get it on the top layer with its center, as you can see we have the same case. So we have to rotate the edge out of the way, flip the center over, line it back up, and do a 180 spin just to line it up. And in relation to the 3x3, what I'm pretty much doing here is getting one edge on the top layer and then lining it up like that and placing it. Now, I'm pretty sure you know how to solve the cross on a 3x3, so just finish that. And by the way, I do recommend that you know how to solve a 3x3 before you learn how to solve this cube. Otherwise, it won't turn out well. Now, these other two edges are going to be a little different because, as you can see, you know how I said before, the orientations alternate. And so, these two edge pieces will have these two little stickers up here, and they will be white and orange. So we have to find an edge piece that has white and orange stickers right there. Okay, so there's that one. Okay, now just like we did the other ones, we're going to get it on the top layer and line it up with its center. You can see it's lined up right like that, and just flip it over. Last one, we'll do the same thing. Gotta find one with orange and white. There it is, it's red. Just gotta flip this center so you can line up the edge piece properly, and just flip it down. And then you have your cross. Next we'll do the corners, and this is just the same as, you know, beginner's method. So if you know how to place the corners in, you should probably be able to do that intuitively, but I'll go over it a little bit. So you can see here's a corner that contains white, and then we'll go right here on the white half of this layer. The other half will have orange. The other two corner pieces will have orange. And I have the corner directly above where it needs to go. And so you could do the RID thing, holding the cube like that, or you could just, you know, intuitively put the corner in by going like that. And you should probably already know how to do that. If you don't, you can just use the Dan Brown thing with the RID. Here we can just, like that, you got both white corners in. Now we gotta get two orange ones on the first layer. Here's the one, and it actually goes over here. So we can just put that in intuitively. Not that hard. Oh, what the heck did I do? Oh, whoops. I put it in the wrong spot. Silly me. Now, what the heck? See, this can be a little tricky. Even I'm not a pro at it, putting the corners in. Because it looks a lot different than a normal 3x3. That's not right. Alright, there's all those corners, and you can see I have the first layer complete, and vice versa on the 3x3. You can just place the corners in intuitively, like so, and that shouldn't be too hard for you. And then we'll have the first layer completed on both cubes. Now, second, you may use F2L for this cube, but just for all practical purposes, people that don't know F2L, I'm gonna just use beginner's method's second layer algorithms. And for that, you will do just the same as you do on a 3x3. Like for this edge piece, I would line it up with its center. I would line this blue piece on the front up with its center, and then determine that it needs to go to the right because the blue and red is right here. And then do the algorithm up, right, up inverted, right inverted, up inverted, front inverted, up, front. And that will place the edge piece. Now, just as I did there, I am lining the two front colors. There will be two instead of one for some of these pieces, up with their center. I'm lining the purple and red one up with the purple and red center. And then I will do the left algorithm, because it's going to go to the left here and line up with this blue. And that algorithm goes, let's see, up inverted, left inverted, up, left, up, front, up inverted, front inverted. And that will place your edge piece. And you should probably already know how to do this, but it's the same as a 3x3. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill in these last two edges on my own using the second layer algorithms. Lining up the edge piece with its center. You can see this one contains light blue, and this center also contains light blue. So you know that's how it goes. And you have your second layer complete. And on the 3x3, you would do the same thing. I did a little F2L move there, but just ignore that. Now the third layer is what's completely different about, not completely different, but very different about this cube. The first thing that you want to do is orient all the pieces, all the edge pieces properly, which is basically getting your top cross, which I already have here. I'll just mess that up. So we can go step by step with 3x3. What you want to do is identify what pieces are properly oriented. And as you can see, like, you can tell that this piece is not properly oriented because no matter where it's located around the center, it will never be correct. Because if it were in any of these locations, it would be incorrect, because the yellow down here would need to be touching this. And same with the other type of pieces that have gray and yellow on the two little stickers. It would never be correct in any position if it were in this same orientation. So it obviously needs to be flipped the other way so it can be matched up with the gray and yellow center. Now, none of the pieces here are oriented properly, so it would be just like if we had the dot, just the dot on the 3x3.